Right now, though, we turn to some huge developments in the case of missing Texas teen Camila Olmos. She vanished on Christmas Eve. We know that a body and a gun were found on Tuesday. She was last seen leaving her home in the early eve of Christmas morning. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office in Texas says that they found a body that they have not identified yet, a few hundred yards away from where Camila Olmos lived.
Found a body in a field nearby here. At this point, it's too early to tell if the body that we found is that of Camila. At this point, we don't suspect foul play. As you all know, one of the possibilities that we were working under was fear of self-harm. And at this point, there are some indicators that the body that we found may be as a result of that.
The sheriff added that the clothes on the body matched the description of what Olmos was wearing the last time that she was seen. Now, during the search, authorities released this video from a driver that shows somebody resembling the teenager around 7 a.m. on the morning that she left her home. Let's talk about this. Let's bring in law enforcement expert and trial consultant Sonny Slaughter and retired NYPD detective and the co-host of the Gold Shield Show, Tom Smith. Good morning to you both. Not the news we were hoping to get. Sonny, your reaction to this news of a body being found, no confirmation that it's her, but an indication from the sheriff's office that there was no foul play involved.
Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Tom. Great to be on with both of you. It is difficult to hear this news. And yesterday I was just talking about this. But I always said that the police know more than they were sharing, and the fact that there was a weapon found near this body indicates that she took the weapon with her from somewhere. So I think they already knew that. I would be shocked if this is not Camila, and it's sad news, but we have a resolution potentially if this is her, but we still don't have answers as to why. So this is a sad but sobering moment for all of us when it comes to what people are going through that we don't recognize when they're right in front of us. People are having very hard times, regardless of their age. And if this is her, it is heartbreaking, it is astonishing, but hopefully her family has some closure as to where she is if this is her.
Yes, Sonny. The sheriff's office talked a little bit about the firearm they found nearby. Let's take a listen to what was said.
I can tell you that we found a firearm very near the body, and in this particular case, we were actually looking for a firearm as well that had come up missing. It was a family member's firearm.
Tom, I'll go to you on this. Sonny made the comment, and she's right, law enforcement always holds back some things for good reason. That was one of those details that we're just learning at Court TV. We didn't know this initially when she disappeared, that a firearm had gone missing from the home. Had we known that, I wonder if our analysis maybe would have been a little different yesterday. Who knows? Your reaction, Tom, to this news, please.
Yeah, it's just sad. You know, like Sonny stated, you know, we did a show on this yesterday, and this is why you leave all the options open of what could have happened to this young lady. And unfortunately, this is the outcome. The other part of this is going to be interesting of whose firearm was it? Where was it locked up? Why did this 19-year-old have such an easy access to it? So that's going to be additional questions that are going to come out of this, unfortunately. But that has to be addressed. And, you know, like Sonny said, you hope maybe something comes out of this of warning signs that other parents can pick up on, red flags of their own children that maybe be going through something like this, that they can aid themselves so something like this doesn't happen in their families.
Right. You're right, Tom. It's a tough thing to, you know, wrestle with when you're a family member and someone dies by suicide, if that is the case here. We don't know, no confirmation yet officially, but the facts certainly seem that way. And as you said, the next conversation is going to be about the weapon that was used. We know that it was known that she was experiencing suicidal ideations. We know that. That was something that the sheriff's office knew. We reported that initially. The sheriff said, and I'm quoting here, she might have been experiencing some suicidal ideation, saying that she was, quote, a young person going through a very tough time in her life. Sonny, back to the point you just made about we never know what another person is going through. It's tough for all of us getting through this life, especially young people. I think there are different pressures nowadays than there were when all of us, were growing up. Talk to me a little bit, please, about precautions that need to be taken in a home where there are firearms present if there's someone experiencing mental health difficulties.
As a mother of four and someone who raised their children around firearms, with firearms, and it is really important for families to secure their weapons. I have several locks that I have given away to others. My own children, they have their own way. They're adults now on bio mechanisms to lock their firearms. And when a person, whether it's a child or anyone in the household or anyone coming to your home, if you have firearms, it is really, really important to lock those down, keep those away, and not let people have access to them, even visitors. You don't want people going through your things. And if a child is having a hard time in your care, that is even more of a reason to ensure that they do not have access to them, that they do not know where they are, that you, if you can, move them to a different location, move them out of the house. But we are seeing more and more suicides these days of young people, of adults. It is critical, as Tom was saying, that we recognize these red flags. This is a horrible situation. The police held back that there was a firearm, but that is the reason why they were using the language imminent danger. While I thought that this could be attached to human trafficking, because there is actually a lot of trafficking, human trafficking in that area, but the imminent danger, the language that was being used clearly showed that there was a threat beyond what we could see, and this is what we are seeing. Firearms are deadly, they are dangerous, but just as other weapons, knives, people are really going through a lot these days, and young people often have no way to express those things other than somebody recognizing them and taking them to get care.
Yes, Sonny, agreed. Tom, let me go to you on that fact we talked about yesterday when we were having the conversation about whether or not this could have been a trafficking situation. And we talked about how weird it seemed that she took her driver's license with her. And one of our other analysts on the show had made the comment about, if somebody was going to commit suicide, why would they feel the need to take their license? That stood out to him as being odd. Tom, looking now at the facts we have, tell us what you think about her taking that with her.
This is a really sad part, but she had a conscious thought of her being identified, and that's all it was. It was to make sure that they knew it was her, and her parents or family members know it was her. There wasn't a mystery of a body being found, and that was a conscious thought of what she was about to do and making sure her family knew it was her.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Tom. This is so heartbreaking. Our hearts go out to the Olmos family. This beautiful young lady had so much life ahead of her. If it is her, we're going to report that. Again, the sheriff's office not giving a confirmation, but all signs seem to point to a very grim outcome here.